All right. Apparently TNA remembered to have a damn pay-per-view this Sunday. Finally some hype for Destination X. Good God. This was the second show of the new Monday Night era. And so far, I know it's only been 2 weeks, but so far I think it's been a positive change. These shows haven't been perfect by any means, but they have been a big step up from what we were getting on Thursday. I think now that they're up against Raw, the writers have realized that they can't slack off anymore. They can't kill time with pointless, redundant crap like having 50 pre-taped segments in one show that don't go anywhere. They're utilizing their time better now. They did it last week, and they did it this week too, which is something I was concerned about. Since this show was taped, I was afraid that they might fall back on that post-production crutch and try to cram too much stuff in. And they did a little bit, but not too much. I think the only way this was really noticeable was that some people's entrances got cut out. And that's not good, but there are worse things that could be cut. A lot worse things. So it wasn't a big problem. I'm very glad that they still have the overrun, because I really do think that helps the pacing of the show enormously. And it allows for longer main events. And I'm hopeful that now that they have this overrun, that we may have seen the last of these BS 2-minute main event matches. Like on this show, we got AJ versus Jeff Hardy for the main event. I think it got about 10 minutes, roughly. Still not incredibly long for a match like that, but that match really shouldn't have been too long because it should have been safe for pay-per-view in the first place. So it was better booked as just a tease, I think. Now, if I could take you guys back in time for just a second here. Back in WCW, once upon a time, Eric Bischoff gave away Bill Goldberg versus Hulk Hogan on free TV to get a one-night ratings victory against Raw. That's what I was thinking about when they did AJ versus Jeff Hardy here, because this was the same damn situation. I mean, I don't really blame TNA for doing this. I mean, Raw's going on USA. They did a 1.0 last week. They got to do something to get people interested. But, as usual, TNA shot themselves in the foot with the execution. Why in God's name they didn't announce this match last week on the show, on the website, on the YouTube page or something? I have no idea. Okay, what TNA should have done was announce this match last week and then by ad time during Raw, air commercials during Raw saying, hey, all you WWE fans, we got Jeff Hardy on our show, and he's in the main event tonight fighting the World Heavyweight Champion, so switch over to Spike TV and see him right now, yeah! But, no, nothing. They didn't do anything. I guess because they wanted it to be a surprise. Surprise! Jeff Hardy! But guess what, TNA? It doesn't matter if you have guys like Jeff Hardy and Rob Van Dam if you don't tell people that you have them. Okay? If WWE fans don't know about it, WWE fans won't tune in to see it. In this ladder match, it's the same deal. Alright? I could say a lot of things about how goddamn stupid it is to book a ladder match for your pay-per-view and then do absolutely nothing to promote it. Like you're trying to keep it a secret or something? I'm not going to. I've said it all before, many times. Instead, I'm just going to say this. If you don't tell the fans that you're having a ladder match, the fans won't know about it. If the fans don't know about it, they will not order your pay-per-view to see it. Elsewhere on this show, the knockouts are still getting virtually no screen time at all, and it's really starting to bother me. I mean, you couldn't give Angelina and Daphne, like, 2 or 3 minutes at least? Come on. That's just ridiculous. I mean, the post-match stuff was cool. I mean, Daphne's still getting pushed. I like that. But the match was just way too goddamn short. And she still cannot seem to win a match for some reason. So I don't think anyone believes that she's going to win the title on Sunday. But my favorite part, this must be mentioned, all right? My favorite part of the show was the X Division segment. I loved the X Division segment, even though the camera completely missed the spot where Generation Me jumped off a stanchion pole. This was a great segment. It hyped up the Ultimate X and even the ladder match somewhat. I just wanted more of it. You know, because there's probably a very large portion of the audience, and when I say large, I mean like over 50% easily, that most likely doesn't even know there's a ladder match this Sunday, and that's a big problem. Again, I mean, it's like they're trying to keep it a secret. They call this show an X Division showcase, but the X Division matches on this pay-per-view are some of the matches with the least amount of build-up. I mean, even on this Before the Bell special that they did, I mean, it talked about the X Division, but it didn't talk about any of the X Division matches on the pay-per-view. I mean, it talked about the Ultimate X, yeah, but it didn't talk about the Ultimate X on the pay-per-view. I mean, we didn't hear from Generation Me about how they feel going into their first Ultimate X match and what it would mean to them to win it. We didn't hear from the Machine Guns about wanting to win the tag title shot, and it didn't mention the other two matches either. I mean, literally, like 90% of this thing was just reused stock footage and interviews from previous X Division hype videos. I mean, why even do it then? That's not going to sell Destination X. I mean, now, most of the pay-per-view was actually hyped up fairly well on Impact, but there could have been a lot more hype if they just cut out the stuff that had nothing to do with Destination X. Like Foley shaving Bischoff's head, for example. I liked it, but it had nothing to do with the pay-per-view. Okay, the Nasty Boys match, same thing. Cut that garbage out. No one wants to see those two fat cripples anyway, and give that time to the X Division ladder match, to hyping up the ladder match, or, you know, announcing the ladder match. Maybe. Doesn't that make sense? Anyway, the show was pretty good overall, like last week's show, except it had a much, much better main event. So, generally, not a bad go-home show despite the flaws. Anyway, Destination X is this Sunday, and this is kind of a weird situation because the build-up sucked, but the card is actually very good. You got Ultimate X, Motor City Machine Guns versus Generation Me. It's a fan's dream match right there. I mean, I can't even imagine what those guys are going to do in this match. I mean, I really wish they'd saved it for Bound for Glory, where it could have had a year of hype behind it. I mean, as it is, it won't mean as much as it should, but I can't wait to see it. You got the ladder match is the same thing. Okay, Kazarian, Daniels, Amazing Red, Brian Kendrick for the #1 contendership to the X Division title. I mean, it won't mean that much, probably, but it'll be freaking awesome. Doug Williams versus Shannon Moore for the X title. That should be great. I really wish they'd stuck with the original plan here and had Kaz getting the title shot on this pay-per-view instead of on Impact. And then just like put Shannon Moore in the ladder match or something. I mean, as it is, it kind of seems like Shannon Moore stole Kaz's spot, but I think this match will definitely deliver. You got AJ versus Abyss for the world title. I mean, those two have had some classic matches in the past. I don't expect this to be as good with AJ working a heel style now. I mean, there'll probably be a lot of interference from Flair and maybe Desmond Wolfe and the Pope. I'm not expecting a clean finish, but I'm sure it'll be a good match regardless. I got Kurt Angle and Mr. Anderson. I'm really enjoying this feud. I think it's been really entertaining so far. And this probably has the best hype out of any match on the card. Matt Morgan and Hernandez versus Beer Money for the tag titles. God, I hope Beer Money wins this. I mean, nothing against Morgan and Hernandez. I mean, they're fine, but them being the tag team champions is just pointless. I mean, to have two singles wrestlers holding your tag titles when you got plenty of perfectly good teams out there is just I don't see what the point of that is. Tara versus Daphne for the Knockouts title. This became a first blood match at some point. I have no idea why. I mean, they never said anything about it on the show. I just found out by looking at the website. In my opinion, Daphne really needs to get away from these types of matches, but it's almost like they don't trust her to carry a regular match by herself for some reason. So they come up with all these bullshit excuses for why she never seems to go bell to bell anymore. Like, she goes batshit crazy on her opponent and gets herself DQ'd every time or something. And it's just stupid, because Daphne can certainly work a good match, but they don't give her the chance. So this will probably be more the same thing. I mean, it might be a good match, but I'm just not looking forward to it that much because I don't think the booking is going to be that good. Brutus Magnus versus Rob Terry got added to the card at some point. I don't know why the hell they're bothering with this. I mean, they already had 8 matches on the pay-per-view, and those guys haven't even been on the show for the last 2 weeks. I mean, seriously, this is going to be awful. Just really, really bad. I I mean, there's no reason why this feud should go to pay-per-view for obvious reasons. I just hope it's a very short match. That's all I'm going to say. Now, you get Eric Young and Kevin Nash versus the Band. I don't care about this at all. We'll probably just see Scott Hall do the finger poke of doom on Nash. Nash lies down for him. Hall and Waltman get their contracts, and I add it to my list of reasons to kill myself. But there's 6 matches on this pay-per-view that should be good to great. You know, I'm excited for this card. The build-up was half-assed, yes, but, you know, I don't know if I'm going to order it or not. I might stream it, I might not, I haven't decided yet. But I expect it to be a good show. Check out the blog for more of my thoughts on this card. The link is in the description box. Enjoy Destination X this Sunday. I'll see you guys later.